Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday Catch-Up Show. Here we are with you on the 31st of January 2025, last day of the month, a month in, and I've pretty much cracked on very much this week with this little lump. So this is the lovely 72nd scale Meng Ornithopter, obviously from June. If anyone who's seen June, you'll know this one quite well. This very much dragonfly, I think, inspired lump. This has got a massive wingspan, absolutely huge, and it does come on a very, very nice stand like this. So this is very, very good. And luckily, though, it does all fold up. So it can fold up, and you've got interchangeable gear. So you can have it geared down or gear up, depending how you want to store it. When it's all folded back, as you imagine, this thing's very, very small. But these wings are huge, absolutely huge onto it. And they all revolve and pivot and everything, just like they do in the film as well. And again, you've got it where you can have the landing door open at the back for the bay door and stuff like that as well. Also, it's actually a click fit. There's no glue on this anywhere whatsoever. I did contemplate actually gluing it all together and things like that, but actually it's pretty darn good. I have to say the fit is very, very nice. Think Bandai-esque. Large components, big plugs, goes in. That's it. You're absolutely fine with it. But generally, it has been a lot of fun. Anyway, you're going to see all about that one next week. All right. So the first part of this one will be up with you on Monday, right the way through the build. And then next week, we can go through the point of weathering it and stuff like that. And again, I'm working all weekend. So hopefully this one will be done Monday, Tuesday, and we can crack on with our next big project. So yes, I've been pushing along a lot with that one. But anyway, it all started on Monday with a final part of the Nimrod. So this is the classic Airfix 72nd scale Nimrod. And, oh, well, we had fun and games with it and everything else. So we had to take care of various bits on here. So we had to do the lights and get those masked up and then painted up and all the rest of it. Then we decided it was time to sort of try and bury these decals that have been giving us all these problems. And boy, did it become a right pain. So we tried to bury them down and everything. And you can probably see on camera, doesn't look too bad here. This is under a coat of satin. But unfortunately, because there's no adhesion whatsoever on these decals and they're slightly out of register and you can see carrier film around there, they just fought me right the way through. They started to lift when I was airbrushing it. So as I'm trying to seal them down, they are physically lifting, air is getting underneath, and because they are just no adhesion, they were coming off. So anyway, not to be deterred, we carried on. Dark dirt wash right the way over this, and because it's going over technically a satin finish or more like a gloss, it wasn't going to stick that much. So once that had all dried off, we just wiped it off. So as you say, depending on how much you moisten the cloth, and obviously the surface you're going over will take out as much as you want off of it. So as you can see down in here, pretty much a really nice cloth will take pretty much 99% of it all off. But if you want to do it a little bit grimy, you can leave a little bit of wash behind to give it that sort of nice patchy look to your model. But for this one, we want it nice, clean and sparky. So we went right the way through and we removed all the wash right the way off of it. And it looked very, very nicely. But those decals were still bugging me. So what I ended up doing was I glossed the decals down to the surface. So a little bit of gloss underneath the decal, reattached the decal back to them. And then we basically brushed satin finish right the way over the entire wing to help seal them in. So once the actual wash had been, the satin coat had gone right the way over, it did seal those decals back in. And again, hand brushing is always a little bit worry when you're doing it with the wash. No problem at all. As I often say, as long as you just put it straight down and you don't agitate it too much and all the rest of it, nice long brush strokes, you'll be absolutely fine. So with that done, it was time to unmask. First time that we've seen inside for a while. And to be honest, the mask worked perfectly well because we used aftermarket Edard ones and they went down an absolute treat, giving us that real nice classic Nimrod look. I wanted to do an early Nimrod. I didn't fancy the later ones with all the lumps and bumps and various things all over them and the tail fins and everything. Wanted to do the nice classic lines of an early Nimrod. So with all of that unmasked, it was really looking nice. It was time to turn attention to the stand. Now, the stand itself is something that we're going to have coming out hopefully within the next 2 weeks as well. So it's a Flory model stand. It's 3D printed, designed by John for us. And then obviously we've got a plug system that goes in these with different angles. So you pick basically the angles you want. You'll hear all about this a little bit in the future anyway. So with that secured in place, it was time to actually finish putting all the last aerials onto this one, get all the last aerials all the way over it. And then it was a case of mounting it onto the base and we were pretty much there and it sort of completed off the build. So very, very happy with that as it made its way through. And obviously we've got the final photos, me looking smug with this particular one and the various stuff underneath looking very, very nice in the gear up configuration. And then obviously with it mounted on its stand all the way through just like that. All right. So again, really, really nice. If you want to see this particular build, literally just come over, click on here. It will take you over to the build page for it, and obviously all the photos are all in high res. Just go through any of these and then literally just click on a photo. It will take you through to the high res one right the way in here. And then for members, if you want to see the video build, then you obviously have to be in the members area. So go into the subscribers bit, click in there, and it will take you straight over to here. And in here, you will find all the video parts as well are in here for you to watch. All right, so they're all in there, just like that, as always. Tuesday took us to Tool Tuesday, something I've been asked to do. Obviously, I have got an FDM printer, and it is a P1S, not a PS1, as I put down in there, with the AMS system. It's the Bamboo Labs. Obviously, there's a lot being said about Bamboo Labs at the moment, but I was just trying to give a real, honest, basic review. As I say, I've had resin printers now for the last few years, and they've been absolutely fantastic. This is my first sort of delve, if you like, into an FDM printer. And to be honest with you, I absolutely love it. I've been using it for so much recently. Obviously, our glue holders are all done with it now. The new upcoming stands are done with it, and I've done various other parts around as well. So again, in here, you can see all about this one. And basically, we talk about it, what it is, how it works, how to set it up, the software that I actually use, how about going, how easy it is, literally just plug and play to do all of this stuff. We talk about, obviously, the filament and all stuff like that. And then if we go back in here, we talk about lots more about how it's going. And then, obviously, we look at it actually printing and going through the motions of doing the printing and all things like that. And really, I give what I feel about this printer. It's personal, my view only, and all the rest of it. What I think it's brilliant at, what I think it's not very good at, when I would use it, when I wouldn't use it, when I would always use resin. And obviously, I do think they complement each other as we stand at this moment. So I really do think that if you're a person who does small little things under 20 mil, gun barrels, that type of stuff, then you don't want one of these, because this is really for the heavy duty type stuff. If you're going to be doing small little figures and obviously gun barrels, stuff like that, really you stick with resin. And that's what I do at the moment. I use both of them. I use resin for the small stuff and all the big sort of heavy stuff. Then obviously we use the FDM printer right the way through. But anyway, members, you can go off and see that one. That is up there right now. And obviously we discuss all the parts, the fitting of them, the cleanups, and all the other stuff that go along with it, and showing what it can do. This was done on the FDM printer. Tiny little stuff like this little Y-wing that I did with it. Just printed it as a one lump. It's not in sections either, so it was just literally to see how well it could do, right the way up to some really big heavy duty projects that I've got coming up in the future, which I've 3D printed as well. All right, so anyway, if you want to know about printing and all the rest of it, or my ramblings of an idiot who doesn't know what he's doing with it, but it seems to work, you can catch up with that one down in there. And also, I have linked in some very old stuff from 23 when I first got the actual resin printer, and then a month later, so forth and so on. All right, so they are linked down in there, members. If you want to see all about the printing stuff that I do, they are all down in there like that. All right, then obviously on to Wednesday. We were talking, obviously, about the Ornithopter from June, working on that, doing the primer coat on it. We were talking about the new stands that are upcoming, how they're going to be available and all the rest of it, and all the usual sort of fun and games with the particular show there. Also up for members on Wednesday, although it is available now on YouTube, we've got the Airfix review for the new Lysander right the way through. And I have to say, it looks great. It looks very, very nice indeed. I love all the internal details and all the little touches with it right the way through. It just looks very much like a fun build. And let's face it, we've been hanging on for a 48 scale Lysander for years. So it's nice that we've got one now. A couple of nice marking options. The decals look really nice as well. But generally, the usual thing with Airfix, the quality of the plastic and the moulding looks to be absolutely superb on this one. So as you can see, some nice good photos down in there showing all the details. Particularly do like the stressed effect over the lumps and bumps down in here as well. No, these aren't ejector pins. They should be there. All right, and all of those are down in there as well. So if you want to see these, the review, and obviously the photos, you can zoom into them as well as always, right the way through. You can see those as well. All right, so that is up on the actual site right now. As always, that's in our review section area, so just click to reviews on the site. You can come down and see any of the hundreds and hundreds of reviews that we've done now. So you just literally click on one of these and you'll go off and see it, or you can search by manufacturer. So just click on Airfix, and then obviously all the Airfix ones will pop up just down in here, and you can go back and just have a look at any of these. And obviously all the modern ones now come with all the instructions and all the high res photos as well. All right, so you can see any of those right the way through with that. Last night it was the members show, and again it was the build show, because obviously it's the last Thursday or a fifth Thursday of the month, so we do this purely as a type of building show. So we're all sat down in here and basically just talking, building right the way through. Andy was telling us about woes of silver paint going everywhere, and obviously how he's getting on with his Beaufort and all those types of things. Matt was talking about the builds that he's been up to as well, and then I was going through trying to find out what colour to paint this the Ornithopter on last night's show, and we were showing things. I won't show you the video again that I showed because I've already got a strike against me for that. But anyway, members, you can keep up with that one or catch up with it even as well. That is up with you here right now. All right, so plenty of that stuff in there. And things going on at the moment over on the PM store. They've got the Lysanders are in stock as well. So if you want to grab one of the Lysanders, you got there as well. You got the Soviet Hound. That was the first Soviet gunship I think they did. Interesting lump. And plus about all the other stuff that we got up on offer at the moment. So we've got some nice bits down in there as well. So if you fancy getting any of those from the PM store, you can do as always. This week we've had a big restock as well. All the AK stuff is back in. We got our special section down in here, which is just the stuff we're getting rid of now. So this is the end of stock lines, various things going on down in there. But again, if you're after the AK pens, where's my markers? There we go. They were, I was going to say, back in stock. Well, we're already back out of the rubber black, but the others are all back in stock again now as well. So we had a restock of those come in. So if you want to get any of those ones, you can do as well, because we had a big restock on Monday of all of those. So yes, busy old week this week, because again, same time of that, we got VAT and there's tax bills and all that type of stuff going on as well. Next week, I've got some really interesting stuff coming up for review, which I've just done with it. We've got, not that one, that's the next build that we're starting on. Here's the one we want. We've got the Apache. We'll be up with you next week for the review of that one. I've got this one here. And I've got the AK Caravelle thing as well, the T2 version as well from AK. So in the next week or two, hopefully that one will be up with you as we make our way through. So lots of stuff coming along there. At the end of last year, we had our classic group build. Now, this is actually a really big one because we had 172 entries into this one and finishers. So again, tons of people taking part in it and some great work as well. The video is around about 10 minutes at this point. So stick around and have a good look at it. And you can see some fantastic builds in amongst all the stuff that's in there as well. So real plethora of different vehicles and figures, aircraft and armor. And you name it, it's in there as well. So all of the kits that you're about to see are all pre-1990. So, you know, again, it's weird to say it, but they're over 35 years old. So again, that's how we did it with this particular one. But it just shows even old kits that we got in our stash can still make absolutely amazing models. Anyway, that's it from me. Happy modelling. Take care. I'll catch you all next week.